Good afternoon, folks, and here's a cool little story from GameInformer.com about Baldur's Gate 3. The campfire feature will feel like it's coming home for Dragon Age Origin fans. Now, that's always a great thing. I think I mentioned in my either my plot analysis or some other video that Dragon Age Origins, the special thing about Dragon Age Origins was the camping, the in-between the plot point buffer of plot points. So you have your main quest, you do your main quest, whatever that is, and then you have your campfire, you rest for the night, you talk to everyone, you might get some upgrades, and you buy some stuff. So that's great. This is how it was in Origins. There's your warden, there's Liliana, I think that's Alistair, and all the way over there is Morrigan, I think that's her. Yeah, she's right there. And of course, you get Wynn and other characters as well. So lots of space, lots of room. Here is the campfire in Baldur's Gate. Kind of tiny. I don't know, maybe they could pick them up and walk them over to get some privacy, to talk to them and get to know them. I'm assuming this is going to be in the same vein. If they're saying stuff like friendships and relationships can be built here or broken. So false bravado, cold walls, and defense mechanisms don't weigh much here. And that's where players truly get a chance to get to know the deep layers of each companion. So it was great in Dragon Age Origins because it was mostly a story function. You have to rest, you have to go to camp, and then you could begin the next plot point or the next chapter of the story, which was great. Here's talking to Liliana, which seems like they're private, but not too private. Like everyone's sort of together, but not like in personal space. There's lots of room. Of course, you got those giant cheese wheels that always popped up with a bunch of picnics in the woods, exactly the same woods of course. So this reminded me of the Kingmaker game or Pathfinder series, which does this as a game mechanic and possible dialogue between your companions, very similar to how Dragon Age has possible flags or triggers in certain parts of a level where your companions will start talking to each other. And that's what could happen in Pathfinder. Now, the interesting thing about Pathfinder is you could actually have a camp in a level or on the map, which was great. So here's one where it's a level and you actually have this giant reticule for a shape of the camp, and you target it and you click it down and everyone just goes and sits. And here's the actual one on the map. And it's very funny how you could assign people to, getting rations, camouflaging the camping itself, who's doing the cooking. You have a recipe list of what you're going to cook. That's going to be your buff. Then you have a special ability. So if you have more than, 5 people, you can assign someone to that and they can provide an extra buff or this or that, make someone more efficient. Then you have another person watching to make sure that no one jumps you in the middle of the night. And it does happen. You can't get jumped while you camp. So there's that element, as well as a storytelling element of people talking and companions going together and arguing, what have you, which is great. That's what you want. You want to have storytelling elements as much as possible. And all it is just an event. And all you do is you just hit the button to camp. So that was pretty common in Pathfinder games because you had to constantly rest, recuperate, and go back. Whereas with Dragon Age, it wasn't that much of a thing. It happened after every chapter. So whether it's going to be a combination or more gameplay element like a D&D tabletop game, which is camping is very common in those style of games, or it's going to be mostly story-driven, I can see either or working. For Baldur's Gate, I'm not too enthusiastic about this game so far, but this is certainly a step in the right direction. It seems like a watered-down approach. If you remember Divinity Original Sin 2, there really was no camping. You could keep a bedroll with you, but that was it. That just recovered health. There was no actual event to do these things and to communicate with your companions. You just go up and talk to them, and that was that. Sometimes they would prompt you the same way many other games do when talking to companions. But it's certainly a step in the right direction. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting that they have this sort of picture to show off. I would like to see more, though. I would like to see bigger levels. Like, this is huge. As a campground, this is gigantic. And you really get the sense of who people are just by where they're sitting, where they're camping, where, how they deal with you, all the various fights between Liliana and Morrigan. So this alone is character. This, I don't know what this means. Like looking at this, I don't know. It seems like they're all together, and they're all huddled together for safety and warmth, and they're scared. That's what I get looking at this photo. Or maybe this vampire dude's going to start biting people. I have no idea. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have yourself a great day.